It all started at the age of 8 or 9. I remember going through my uncle's CDs because I wanted new music to listen to on my mom's laptop. So while going through these CDs, there was nothing written on it. So I had no choice but to put it in the laptop to see what was on it. And I came across this one CD. It started off as a movie, and then I eventually dragged it to the middle, and that's when I saw a black lady on top of a man. And I was so scared. I was so scared. I would try taking it off, and it's like it didn't even want to come off. And when I finally got it off, I closed the laptop, and I can't remember what I did after, but I just remember being really, really, really scared. So days went by, and I was curious, because that was the first time I saw people having sex, right? So I wanted to see more, like I wanted to learn more. So using my mother's laptop again, I went onto YouTube and I searched up people kissing. Then I searched up people kissing and touching. Then I searched up people kissing, touching with their clothes off. And that's when YouTube told me that I need to be 18 years or over. And I didn't want to do that on my mother's laptop. But the funny thing is, I didn't want to make an email with a fake age, but I had no problem searching those things. But anyways, I eventually looked up sex.com, and from since that day, that's when everything went downhill. That's when I started looking at porn. I even started touching myself, and it was just crazy. And all of this went on until my 20s. And I'll never forget this one time where it just wasn't fun anymore, but it's like I just couldn't stop doing it. And I was looking at a video, and while trying to get off, when I was close, it's like my brain was telling me stop, but it's like I had no control over my hands. So I still couldn't stop. And when I finally get off, it's like I felt sad. And I told myself that I need to stop this. But the crazy part is, even though I watched this for all of these years, I kept telling myself that I'm not addicted. But one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn is that you wouldn't know when you are addicted to something until you try to stop. And when I tried to stop, it was very hard. So I started to do research, and I came across NoFap. And even though it is for men, I think it is for women too. And I did come across some stories of women being addicted. And the longest I ever stayed clean was 3 months. I relapsed so many times. I felt shitty so many times. I was annoyed. I it it affected my confidence. I felt like I was suffering with anxiety. I couldn't even look people in their face. It's just so much that was going on in me. And it didn't make sense until I started doing research. So, porn is something that I wish didn't exist. A lot of people, they don't take it seriously, the addiction seriously. A lot of people just think it's normal, but it's not normal to look at two people have sex and you just touching yourself. It's not normal. I remember I was reaching to a point where I felt like I can't even be with anyone because I already satisfied myself. So what's the use? What's the use of having someone? But it's just messed up. It's really, really, really messed up. And sometimes, well, most times, I wish that I could go back to my younger self and just wipe that memory from then to my 20s. Just wipe that memory of seeing those stuff. And I know some people, the addiction, it could get worse because it's like it rewires your entire brain. But with some people, they are so used to seeing one type of video that they go to the extreme. And I'm so glad that I wasn't that extreme. That extreme as in looking at these weird videos, like when it goes past beyond regular sex. Like, I'm so glad that I didn't reach that stage. Because to me, when I read stories on that, I think it's scary. I think it's really scary how this affects people and they just don't even know it. They just don't know it, and it's really sad. And another crazy thing in all this is that your brain would trick you into thinking that this is the last video and no more. That's a trap that I fell for so many times. I told myself, yeah, it's the last video. And then later on, days later, I go back to watching again and again and again. So it's tough, but it could happen. You could overcome this. It's tough. It might relapse so many times because I did, but it is possible. It is possible to overcome this. Just need to take time.